Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David, and this is a magic review. Hey, today we're gonna look at the floating deck from Tim Spinosa. All right, the floating deck, what is it? It is a, you guessed it, floating deck routine. It is a floating deck routine. It's a zombie ball routine, right? It's zombie ball. You watch it, you see the trailer, and you're thinking, that's just zombie ball with a deck of cards. It is. It's zombie ball with a deck of cards, but that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. It's putting a stage style effect, an effect that you would normally see on stage or in parlor magic, something that's that large, would entertain that many people. And what Tim has done brilliantly is he's shrunk that down into something that you could do for close-up and walk around. All right, so a couple questions we always ask about all of our magic reviews. The first of which is, what's inside the tube? What's inside the tube? You get a giant tube, and literally this is the tube you get, right? This is the tube. This is how big it is, how round it is diameter-wise. And at one point in the video, Tim says that this is your carrying case. That this would be your carrying case. That you'd use this to carry for walk around. So it's a little big to use as a carrying case, plus the fact that it says the floating deck on it, like that kind of gives it away before you even perform with it. I don't know that I would use this as my carrying case. Inside, you're getting the Zombie Ball Silk, okay? The Zombie Ball Silk. You're getting a brand new deck of United States Playing Card Company cards. You're getting two gimmicks. One gimmick ready to go and another gimmick that you could modify. We'll talk about that later. And you'll get the download code so that you'll have access to the video. The video is roughly 40 minutes long. Is it what I thought? It is what I thought. It's a zombie ball trick with a deck of cards. I mean, the moment I saw it in the trailer, I know how zombie ball works. So, and the fact that the deck's not on the table anymore and the spectator could look up and see the deck. I mean, that's part of the brilliance of this effect also, is that you can actually float the deck over your spectators' heads. They can look up and they can see the deck. I kind of figured it out before it came to me in the mail, and I was right. How are the angles? The angles are great. Like I said, your spectator can look underneath and see the deck floating. There's nothing for them to catch. As far as whether it can be inspected or not, well, the deck can be inspected, but the silk, right, the zombie silk cannot. It's gimmicked. All right, so what's the overall quality and production value of the video? For the most part, Tim is in an office. He's in an office setting. He's got a straitjacket and some other awards there on the back wall. He does have an off-camera assistant or a cameraman that helps him. There's a couple of different camera angles, but for the most part, it's a single stationary waist-high shot where he is behind the desk. It doesn't sound like there's a microphone, so it can be a little echoey at times. As far as what he's gonna teach you, he's gonna go over what's inside the box. He'll give you a studio performance. He's gonna go over the gimmick, and then he'll go over the performance, which is the bulk of the routine. He'll even do it a second time with a transparent silk so you can see all the dirty work. He'll then talk about how to modify the gimmick to use with your custom deck, or how to modify the tuck case to work as well so the cards can always be examined. And then he'll extensively cover ideas and performance handling at the end. Is it well made? It is well made. It's made exactly like how you would think a zombie ball silk should be made, and it's made in the same vein as previous zombie ball silks maybe you've seen in the past. How much practice does it require? For me, none. I mean, I guessed how it was done. It came to me in the mail. It was how it was done. I immediately just did a little bit of finagling at my table, and I walked everything into my wife's office and I performed it for her with no practice, and it worked right out of the box. How much setup and reset is there? Very little, but you do need to rig the deck in advance. You can do this with a deck of cards, and for the most part, you can show the deck of cards to be normal. However, you can't use any deck of cards. You can't use a borrowed deck, right? You have to have spent some time with it in advance for it to work. Positives. All right, so what are the positives to this? It is a fun little zombie ball trick. And like I was saying earlier, it's taking the massiveness of a stage effect or a parlor effect, and it's bringing it down into a one-on-one close-up setting. And I think for card magicians, it's creatively combining the idea of card tricks with stage effects. So whether this is your opener, which I would probably say it should be your opener, because then you can go into some card routines. Or if you want to use it as your kicker ending, either way, I think it's a great attention grabber. All right, so what are the negatives? A silk is awkward to carry for a close-up artist, just because it doesn't pack flat, right? So I think the way around that is to maybe have a jacket, and then I would keep my silk in my inside jacket, or keep it in my back pocket but have my jacket flaps tucked over it so nobody can see it. Because that's how we would expect a silk to be brought into play, that you would reach behind your back and pull it out of your back pocket. That seems natural. But of course, if you're the type of magician that goes around with a briefcase, you know, or a case on a stand, this will all fit in your case on a stand perfectly fine. Is it worth your money? It is $150. It's $150. And like I said, I've given you what comes in the box, right? You know what you're getting, and it's 40 minutes worth of instruction. So I think whether it's worth it or not to you, that has to be your call. You have to decide that for yourself. Who would like this? I think anyone that does parlor magic and is also a card magician. I think this works great for the parlor magician that does card tricks, because it definitely combines both of those worlds. Also, I think if you're a kids magician, I think this works great for kids magic as well. I think if you're a close-up magician, you really need to think about pocket space and how you carry your props from table to table, and definitely consider that as you make your purchase. All right, so that's everything I can say about the floating deck from Tim Spinosa. I want to thank hocus-pocus.com for allowing me to have this so that I could do the review for you. And if you'd like to purchase it for yourself, you can find it at hocuspocus.com. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, bye.